Stop listening to the lies. Be done wobbling. Maybe these are some of the lies that you listen to. See if you find yourself in this list of lies. A real Christian, you tell yourself, doesn't doubt. You ever say that to yourself? Real Christians don't doubt. Why am I doubting so much? Well, first of all, let's understand, doubt is not disbelief. You have a thought that says, I'm not sure I'm saved, or maybe something wild and radical like, what if God doesn't exist? Foolish thoughts and doubt does not mean that you are somehow apostate. It just means you doubted. Do you ever believe the lie that doubt indicates damnation? Thomas doubted. Peter certainly appears to have doubted and been wobbly. It's not a damnable sin. We don't want those thoughts. We want them to go away. But doubt does not mean that you are dead in your trespasses and sin. Maybe the lie, real Christians have 100% assurance. I don't think that's necessary. You should. It's great if you do. But you don't have to. Just because sometimes you don't feel fully convinced that you are His doesn't mean you're not His at all. Maybe you believe the lie that your life is such a mess, God clearly doesn't love me. Well, if we are determining God's love based on our circumstances, we are failing to remember the greatest love that could ever be shown to us. We're just failing to remember our biggest problem has been solved. All right, I don't have the job. I don't have the income level. I don't have the kids that look as good as everybody else's kids on Facebook. My life is just, God couldn't possibly love me, says the devil or Job's friends. It's a lie. Dismiss it from the courtroom of your brain. Your good works are phony. A real Christian doesn't battle sin this long, you tell yourself. Really? Paul did. Remember Romans chapter 7? Romans 7, he's just battling with sin. What's the difference, though? He was battling with sin. If this is your issue, you think, yikes, I am constantly at war with this besetting sin. I can't be saved. That is 100%, that's a 180 wrong. It is the unbeliever who does not care about their sin. It is only the true convert or the one being converted who does care. Do you care about your sin? That's a very good sign. Don't let that lead you to doubt. Let that lead you to rejoice. I am saved anyway. In this is love, not that we first loved God, but that He loved us and sent His Son as a propitiation for us. When? When we cleaned ourselves up. When we stopped sinning. While we were yet sinning, Christ died for us. Do you believe the lie you don't have the same joy that you had when you're saved? Ooh, that's one that gets people. I don't have that excitement. All right. Anybody here been married for more than 10 years? All right. Now, you ladies, don't be offended yet. You think, okay, wait a second. You mean he's not as thrilled as the day that I remember when my wife walked down the aisle. Man, I did not plan on this. Nobody gave me this advice. Get ready. You could sob like a child when you see her coming down. And I fought it like nobody's business. In hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have, because that certainly is the way that I was feeling, sweetheart. It was like, just couldn't hardly contain myself. Well, now we're 28 years into this. Do I still have that buzz? No. Does that mean I love my wife less? Absolutely not. I love her far more profoundly than I did even on that day. It's a different type of love. It grows in its type of love, its complexity and its depth. And so just because you don't have that same sensation, it doesn't mean you're not saved. Any more than you're not married to your wife because you're not sobbing every time she walks down an aisle. Real Christians don't have besetting sins that still ensnare. Is that a lie you believe? Thinking you're disqualified from salvation? Oh, yes, I don't know anybody who doesn't have some sort of a besetting sin. And if you don't think that you've got one, it's probably pride and self-deception, because we all do. And it is a forever battle. It is a constant battle. It is a never-ending war against sin. Remember Romans chapter 7? But what was the difference with Paul? He was at war. He hated his sin. Do you hate your sin? That's a good sign. The question of sin, it's not an if question for the believer. It's a when question. And the answer, quite honestly, is now. Right now, we're all sinning in various ways, whether we're cognizant of it or not. Christians sin, but they don't love it.